might have seen him on this panel before. And secondly, we have Gil Austin, the creative director for Toonami. Woo! And a very handsome man. And we have two very special guests in town today, the voices of Toonami. First off, we have Dana Swanson, who's Sarah.
It's a lot of steps to get up to do.
Got it. Hi, everybody.
And last but not least, the man himself, Steve Bloom, the voice of Tom.
Yeah, where's the fun in that?
This live, but if you need a second screen experience, I would like to encourage you to go to twitch.tv/momocon TV just to see an alternate angle. I gotta laugh.
You should do voiceover. That was great.
Thank you so much.
It's our good angle, right, on the Twitch?
It's the best angle,
Okay. So, obviously, these are the Toonami crew you've all met before. If you've come to these panels, we love having them here at momocon. I think we could jump right into it. I think there's some announcements. Yes, Jason could announce.
I actually think Gil's going to do these announcements.
I think Steve is probably the best person to...
I will. I don't know what
Steve's
I'm saying.
announcement will be that he's not wearing underwear, and it's not a surprise to anyone.
Steve, you got
Least
the
of
script.
all, us.
That's how I start every session for Toonami. Just so you know, I do record at home.
Just make sure he feels free.
Yeah, exactly.
To access Tom, you have to really...
Tom needs to breathe, baby.
You have your script in front of you, right, that we provided for all the...
Nothing.
Okay.
I got nothing.
So we have a couple of announcements, and then we're going to show you some things. First of all, thank you for coming out tonight.
Best fans ever.
So our first announcement, make sure I'm doing this in the right order, is that
Gil's
starting...
fired. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's going to be at the end.
Oh, okay.
You're always supposed to fire someone
Sorry,
at the end
I jumped
of the
the
panel.
gun. It's my fault.
Otherwise, I get super mad.
Okay,
and
Gil's
sad.
not fired yet. Don't worry about it.
Makes it awkward for the
We'll
rest
figure it out
of the
later.
time,
Figure it out later.
See,
Wires
it's at the
crossed.
bottom of the sheet.
My bad.
Don't worry, I'm still gainfully employed for the next 47 minutes. But on Crunchyroll, probably as of now, so hopefully you won't actually leave this panel to go take advantage of this
I
opportunity.
think it's on the Adult Swim app.
Fully alternative progressive
Because I'm watching on the...
are now available on Crunchyroll.
I'm watching on the Adult Swim
that
app,
exact
Roku.
same fact, we have cut together a little promotional item that we're now going to show to you. And we're going to see how throwing to these videos works. So I'm just going to be quiet for a second and see if this starts
If they play
playing
the
a video in 3.
Oh.
本日は皆さんに重大発表があります。
The time has come. The English subtitle versions of Fooly Progressive and Fooly Alternative are streaming now on Crunchyroll.
Okay.
Never knows best.
Short and sweet.
Yeah.
So hopefully you saw that not just on this little teeny tiny TV that's over on the side here for us, but beyond that. And then we have a couple of show announcements. We were going to have
4. We were going to have 4. Then 2 of the companies at the very last minute said, wait, we're not ready. So in the next couple weeks, there's going to be even more announcements. But for now, we have 2.
And we were just going to do it anyway, but it turns out that actually would get us fired.
That's frowned upon.
We are contractually obligated to maintain the legal line of only these announcements. But first off, we're going to have Lupin the Third Part 5 coming June 15th. So right around the corner. And we've already announced that, but it was just going to be a big thing in the room. But that was really not that big a surprise. But Mobile Suit Gundam The Origin is coming July 7th.
Wait, what?
And we'll be coming up with more time announcements as we get closer to that and full lineups. But we have spots for both of these shows.
That was
we're going to run
fast.
for you now. We're going to run them back to back so that you don't have to keep hearing us talk every couple of minutes or so. Because you're going to get plenty of that as we go through. So let's check out those spots right now. Ish.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Lupin the Third. I'm a thief, and quite the skilled one, too. secret. Just talk about a pain in the neck.
Don't drag me into this.
Let's do it!
Where I come from, Lupin is synonymous with alien.
If anybody's gonna kill you, it should be me, right?
See you, Pop!
Lupin the Third, Part 5, premieres June 15th, only Toonami, on Adult Swim.
The Federation is Daiku's enemy! Long live Nick.
The city's in anarchy.
Your father was assassinated, murdered by those zombie fiends.
When I grow up, I will make Tegwin and the rest of your family bow down before me.
Mobile Suit Gundam, The Origin, premieres July 6th. Only Toonami, on Adult Swim.
Suit up.
We're super excited about both of those, and equally as excited about the two we're not actually allowed to tell you about, but we'll soon enough.
So good.
Delayed
Fingers crossed.
gratification. I'll tell you about it soon on Adult Swim.
I just want to give a little bit behind the scenes. I noticed that Jason's paper is slightly folded and Gil's is not, so you can read into that however you want to. I just want to give some facts as we go along.
Mine's crumpled by my giant banana hands.
But also,
Which is,
Gil's is neatly folded
Yes.
because he's a neat man.
it's not
And
entirely
Steve
accurate,
doesn't have a script.
No, I
because
lost
we
mine.
can't trust him.
because we just feed him the lines.
You don't know what he's going to do.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
Don't put anything in his hands.
Never.
Living
He'll
allow-
eat it. He'll wipe it on something.
I will.
Yeah.
I'll wipe something on it.
To get us slightly back on track, we're going to highlight more of the scripted version of Dana and Steve. We're going to have what is you'll hopefully think is a special treat. We're very excited about it. Our new Toonami Total Immersion event is coming this fall. Are we saying the month, or are we still keeping it
No,
loose?
we're saying
November,
Very late in the fall.
ish date to be determined, will be The Forge, and for you watching in this room, you watching on the Adult Swim streams, and I guess you watching at twitchtv.com/momocon TV, will also be able to see episode 1 of The Forge right now.
Lucky.
Hopefully you guys will enjoy it. 5 months in advance. 5 months in advance. It will be 6 parts total.
Yeah, so this is mostly hand puppets and some scratch VO and a little bit of shadow work, but I think you'll still get generally the idea.
It's me in my studio with no pants and a Tom helmet.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Given the data before us, Tom, it seems only a matter of time before Georgia exceeds the capacity for the Vindication to serve her.
Don't be like that, Sarah. The ship's huge. You said it yourself.
It is, but it's not possible for the Vindication to accurately approximate the environment of Shogo 162. And Georgia needs to grow.
Do you think she misses home?
The data points to the possibility. Tom?
Georgia's gonna grow up and leave our cozy nest, and I don't know. We just stay the same.
It feels like one of us changes every 12 to 14 months.
I don't even know where I come from. It's just me, Tom, all alone in the universe. Oh, and you, and Georgia, and some Clydes, and all the loyal viewers who tune into our...
That'll have to wait. He's got trouble.
About time.
Systems are locked. The ship is programming its own navicomputer.
Can it do that?
Destination unknown?
The hyperdrive is engaging, Sarah.
They've been hacked.
There's no way you regain control of the ship.
Adventure.
The computer isn't responding. I don't know.
No shit.
Why do our adventures always have to involve non-stop running? Just once I'd like to try lying down. Maybe on a beach, sipping a Mai Tai. That sounds like an adventure I could...
Tom, hold up. There might be a host of untold dangers awaiting us on the space station.
Do you think it was worth the time it took to learn to do this? I do.
I I'm concerned about you. I need to secure Georgia in case anything serious happens. If you go out there now, you're on your own.
What's new? Just like I said, one Tom against the universe. Hey, you Clydes are really jacking my cool guy loner moment here. Stay out of sight, okay? Someone told me there might be a host of untold dangers awaiting us on this space station. And that someone is usually right. Smug, but right.
Secure dinotherms. Re-engage F5B limb.
Those the Toms?
Who are these guys? That's far enough, Jack. You're gonna tell me who you are and what you're doing on my ship?
Do not harm Unit 2. Do not us.
Who are you, pal?
A yellow Tom.
Clone? Hallucination? You're like the annoying reflective safety vest version of me.
Don't you dare look at me that way, Krug.
Sir, apologies, sir.
Bring this unit to the ship. I'm gonna rip it apart, circuit by circuit, and find out what makes it tick.
Well, there goes another slide.
Krug back to the fort. Then clean up this mess.
No. This wasn't supposed to happen. Find a safe place to hide, Georgia. I've got to go into the space station to save Tom. And I have a feeling I'm going to make quite a mess in the process.
And cliffhanger.
Wait.
Georgia's gonna grow up and leave on those nests, and I don't know, we just stay the same.
No, this is the promo.
We've got trouble.
Does that sound like a hyperdrive engagement?
There's no way to regain control of the ship.
That seems like a bad sign.
The Forge, November 9th.
And if you were paying close attention, you'll notice that Steve/Tom read two different lines on the visor going into hyperspace, one of which is correct and one of which is not. So we'll figure that out, and by the time it actually gets here, we'll
Somebody's
have
gonna get hit. By me. We have 5 months till part 2. I have faith in you guys.
Oh, man.
Maybe we'll figure it out in 5 months.
Yeah.
Did you guys like it? Yeah? We're upping the stakes on this one because it's the last one for a while. So you may have, if you're eagle-eared, it's hard to hear in this giant cacophonous area, but yeah, Bo Billingsley was the voice of the bad guy. And so it's a little bit of a reunion.
Me and Jet together again in space. Hope he brings some beef.
There's lots of beef. Yeah, there's lots of beef.
So much beef. I was really excited to voice that and to get to work with Gil directing me to do that the episode 1. But I also did the dubstep noises that you heard in the promo. I was really excited about that. So thanks again for letting me do that.
Do you want to showcase some of those sounds?
Yeah. Voice acting. Thank you.
Hopefully we were rolling on that, and that wasn't just.
I'm very excited. I'm registered with BMI just for that. So thank you. Thank you.
Dana does little known facts. She does Skrillex sounds, and Steve is very good at monster noises.
Yeah.
They'll do it all day. Like you don't even have to prompt it.
That wasn't what's in my mouth.
You just do it when you wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
Morning, honey.
What's for breakfast?
Sounds like from
so
Geyser.
Chad, you wanna? Yeah. We'll throw it to you again. So I don't
impressed by Steve's growling. He may answer your questions in the form of a growl.
Oh.
So obviously it's the part where you guys get to ask these guys questions. I've already asked them enough questions. So we have 2 microphones. If you guys would like to line up, we've got some great questions coming from you guys.
Everybody who asks a good question will get a prize.
We've got this. Feels like the movie Under the Skin. Like there's a very strange spotlight.
I hope it doesn't feel like Under the Skin.
But yeah, so
the lighting direction here.
So obviously, as they talked about, they have 2 shows coming that they can't talk anything about. So asking questions about what shows are going to air, you're not going to get much. So you're going to get nothing. You get nothing from me.
You'll be thanked for your time and escorted out of the building.
Probably given a toy.
So do we want to start over here since you guys aren't in the center concession? And we'll go back and forth.
Just barely see you.
Okay, so my name's Alex, and my question is, obviously over time, Tom's had some serious evolutions, and whether that's him actually evolving into new versions of Tom or having different situations that he has to confront versus like the Force or the Intruder. What's that creative process like right now when you guys are drafting that story? And how does it compare to the process prior to the 2012 Toonami revival?
Oh, okay.
You mean you're asking specifically around these longer form total immersion event things, or just in general?
I guess just in general, like whether it's an evolution of Tom going from 2 to 3.
He looks like crap because I do in real life now.
Tom ages as
We try to keep it photorealistic to match Steve.
Steve's back hurts, then Tom's back servos don't work.
That's what I actually look like. I'm in cosplay right now.
You look great.
We, before 2012 Toonami, we had our own staff. We had a full staff of people who did CG, very talented artists. We had our own conceptual storyboard artist on staff, and we had a team of 4 guys who were amazing who did all of our CG work. And then we would outsource some stuff, for the most part, it was all done in-house, and that was literally their main job for like the year.
Yeah.
So the biggest difference between then and now is now we go to an outside house that's very good. They're called Hinge. And we come up with the story and storyboard and give it to them. And then it's just a year-long process of sort of going back and forth and tweaking things and them going, is this what he would do? Is this how he would move? Is this what Sarah would do? And then us sort of commenting.
Yeah.
So it's actually a lot harder now.
The
and more expensive.
The timing is different, so it's instead of just walking around the corner and saying, someone telling you, hey, I have these 2 shots, can I get feedback on it? It's more weekly updates kind of thing. So we see things sort of further along, and we're giving more general notes on overall scenarios. In terms of working with Steve and Dana, Dana's process has changed with us. Just in a physicality standpoint, because she's no longer at the Atlanta office, but in terms of writing for the characters is pretty much the same. We just try to hear the voices in our head as we're writing it through, and then if Jason writes something, inevitably I'll look at it, or vice versa, just because you sort of always want to have somebody checking you and not always writing in one voice.
Yeah, you think you wrote a funny Tom Singer and you just wrote some terrible shit, and you need somebody to be like, it's
like I changed the joke that was, now we seem to change every 12 to 18 months, and everybody in here laughs, so that's a big win.
Right.
I was on the fence about that one, but Gil was right. But yeah, and then coming up with the story, it used to be sort of, we wrote literally everything. In the last couple of years, we've worked with a guy named Brendan Fletcher, who's a very talented comic book writer and a friend of ours, and we come up with a scenario. Brendan writes all the dialogue, and then unfortunately for Brendan, we break it all apart and rewrite all the dialogue ourselves. But there's a Brendan pass in there that really is the reason it ends up the way it is, and he has injected more heart into the characters, because Gil and I are a little more, well, we're just assholes, so we're always like, no, they wouldn't say that, and then Brendan writes like, that they're nice to each other, and we're like, oh, fine, So that process has been, I think, great, but part of the reason we're not going to do another one for a long time is it's getting to the point where it's so cost prohibitive and so time consuming that we kind of just need to be working on the block itself or the shows we're developing. So
Did that in any way answer the actual question that you asked?
It was a long answer, man. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, for sure. And I just want to take a chance and say thank you for what you guys do. We really appreciate everything, especially with like the comic book, especially that was really fun to read. But also everything you do with promoting this type of media to like the mainstream audience, like that's fantastic. Especially considering you guys do this with the team that you have now compared to what you had back then.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
it. Awesome. Give that man a Tom figure.
Thank you for your bravery.
A Tom figure.
Hey, so I was wondering, who does all the like cutscene CGI animations for Toonami?
Who does the CGI animation? It's a company called Hinge. They're on the West Coast. They're based in Seattle, Portland. And they do a lot of commercial work. They do feature work, and the guy that works with them is sort of a longtime director who's sort of helped us with all kinds of Toonami stuff over the years. But it's mostly been Hinge for the last 4 years, I would say, or 5. Yeah.
So go to Portland and then just wave with a sign that says Hinge and you'll find it. That's how it works.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys got me at the end.
Thank you. Hold on, dude. You're gonna get it. Yeah, there's a gentleman trying to give you a Tom figure. There you go. Everyone who asks a question gets a Tom figure. Lucky. Back to you.
All right. So my question is, can we get a night of Toonami to where Steve Bloom voices every single character in the shows? Every one? It just sounds like a bad impression to say like Goku and then like Deku and all that.
It's not a bad April Fool idea. The only problem is, I don't know if you're aware, but Steve's come up in the world since the early days of Toonami, and that would probably bankrupt us.
Talk about cost prohibitive.
Steve deserves all of his well-earned ducats. Yes. Round of applause for this man. But
you know, for an April Fool's thing, I'd be totally on board.
maybe for an April Fool, it would be kind of funny.
I like that, yeah.
And you'd have to do the sound effects, though.
I'll do sound effects, too.
Like, every sound came from Steve's mouth, and that's how we'll advertise it.
Yeah.
Every sound came from Steve Bloom's mouth.
All the outside scenes and stuff. Yeah, I'm in. Okay.
Well, thank you.
And no home video yet for fully alternative progressive.
Then I know I predicted it. Yes, thank you.
Thank you for the job security.
Yeah, that's a GoFundMe if you've ever heard of one. That's
Either
pretty good.
Either that or I'm going to get fired immediately after this.
You agreed to do what? Yes, sir.
So Steve has had a ton of roles through the ages, and I'm just wondering, what's his favorite anime role, cartoon role, and live action role?
It's hard to choose favorites, but I can only speak in terms of the ones that changed my life. So Spike Spiegel probably changed my life more than any other one. What were the other ones? It was cartoons.
Yeah. And then real life.
Man, that's really hard. I don't know.
His favorite real life role is Dad.
Yes, it is. In Tom cosplay. It is. That's true though. Dad
Two-way tie.
That is the actual answer to that question. Man, well, Tom is way up there too. I don't know if he really doesn't qualify for any of those.
It's okay. We can go out of
I know. I have to say that because they're sitting here. But probably Severelius from Star Wars Rebels, just because Star Wars. Yeah. 4 people clap. Thanks.
I do like the Krogan that you played.
Oh, sorry, Shepard.
Yeah. Yeah. Every now and again in my head, I just hear
Shepard.
I was like,
Shepard. I'm gonna call you in the middle of the night and just say that.
Shepard. I think I'm losing my mind.
Yeah.
You, sir.
Yeah, hello. How you?
On my later.
Uh-oh. You have too much power.
I guess so.
It's a scar.
You just blew the circuits.
It's a scar. That's it. It's a scar. Too much music.
Too much scarf.
Yeah. I don't really